The World Cup has produced 22 finals, and today we're going over all of them. Quick, direct, and without skipping any. 1930 Estadio Centenario, Montevideo. The first World Cup in history, and the first final, was a Rio de la Plata classic. Uruguay, the host, took the lead with a goal from Dorado, but Argentina came back with Pucel and Stabile. In the second half, Uruguay was a different team. Goals from Tea, Iriarte, and Hector Castro sealed the 4-2 win, and thus Uruguay became the first world champion in history. In 1934 in Rome, the World Cup came to Europe, and Mussolini wanted Italy to win, and they did, but it wasn't easy. Czechoslovakia took the lead in the final, and the Italians had to come back with 2 goals in the last minutes of the match. Italy, champions at home, with everything that entailed at the time. 1938 in Paris. 4 years later, Italy reached another final and won again, this time against Hungary. The final score was 4-2. The Azzurri became the first country to defend the World Cup title, winning consecutive World Cups. And even today, Vittorio Pozzo is the only coach to achieve this. 1950 at Maracanã, Rio de Janeiro. It wasn't a final in the classic format, but the last match of a final stage. Yet it decided the champion, and Brazil, in front of 200,000 people at Maracanã, lost. Uruguay needed to win. Brazil only needed a draw. Friaca put the home team ahead, but Schiaffino and Chilla turned it around. The Maracanazo, one of the most painful defeats in the history of sports. Uruguay won their second World Cup title. 1954. Germany. 3 Hungary 2. In Bern, Hungary reached the final. With 33 unbeaten matches, they were by far the best team in the world. They had thrashed Germany 8-3 in the group stage. In the final, they were winning 2-0 after 8 minutes, and still they lost. Germany tied before halftime, and Helmut Rahn scored to make it 3-2 for good. The Miracle of Bern, the most unexpected title in World Cup history, and Germany's first star. 1958 in Stockholm, Brazil traveled to Sweden and left no doubt. A 17-year-old boy named Pelé scored 2 goals in the final. The hosts couldn't handle the Canarinha. 5-2 Brazil's first World Cup and the birth of an era. 1962. Brazil 3. Czechoslovakia 1 in Santiago, Chile. Pelé was injured in the second match and couldn't play anymore. But Brazil had Garrincha, who took charge and never let go. In the final, Czechoslovakia led with Mazops, but Brazil responded with goals from Amarildo, Zito, and Baba, becoming 2-time champions, with or without Pelé.
1996, en Wembley,
London. The football inventors won their only World Cup at home. The final against Germany went to extra time after a 2-2 draw, leading to the tournament's most controversial goal. Jeff Hurst's shot hit the crossbar and landed on the line. In, out. The referee said it was in. Germany has always said it was out. Hurst completed the hat-trick, and England won 4-2, their only title to this day. 1970 in Mexico City, the best Brazil in history against a defensive and tough-to-beat Italy. Pelé opened the scoring with a header. Boninsenha equalized. In the second half, Brazil was unstoppable. Gerson, Jairzinho, and the stunning goal by Carlos Alberto sealed the 4-1 final score. Brazil won their 3rd World Cup and kept the Jules Rimet Trophy forever. 1974 in Munich. Johan Cruyff's Clockwork Orange reached the final playing the best football of the tournament. Cruyff had already won a penalty. Neyskens put Holland up 1-0, but Germany responded. Breitner equalized from the penalty spot, and Gerd Müller made it 2-1 before halftime. The second half was all German control. Holland, who deserved to win, left empty-handed. Germany, their second star. 1978 in Buenos Aires. Holland reached another final, this time without Cruyff. Argentina, the host, led with Kempes in the first half, but Naninga tied 7 minutes before the end. Rensenbrink nearly made it 2-1 in the last second, but hit the post. In extra time, Kempes scored again, and Bertoni sealed the 3-1 win. Argentina won its first World Cup during Videla's dictatorship, prompting nationwide street celebrations. Italy 3. Germany 1 in Madrid. Italy reached the final at the Bernabeu after a terrible start in the tournament, but Paolo Rossi kicked into gear at just the right moment. In the final, Cabrini missed a penalty before halftime. Rossi scored first in the second half, then Tardelli added a historic second with a memorable celebration. Altobelli made it 3-0, and Breitner pulled one back in the final minutes. Italy, 3-time world champions. Rossi, top scorer of the tournament. 1986, Maradona's World Cup. He also claimed the final, despite not scoring the winning goal. Argentina led 2-0 with Braun and Valdano's goals, but Germany tied it with Rummenigge and Boller. With 7 minutes left, Maradona delivered the decisive pass to Burruchaga. And with the best player in the world as captain, the Albiceleste lifted their second World Cup. 1990. In Rome, a rematch 4 years later, but it wasn't a pretty game. The ugliest final in recent World Cup history. Argentina arrived without Caniggia and finished with 10 men. With 5 minutes left, Müller was brought down in the box. Penalty. He scored it, and Argentina couldn't do anything. Mateus lifted the cup, and Germany became 3-time champions. 1994, Brazil vs. Italy. Pasadena, California. The first World Cup final without goals in 90 minutes. There were no goals even in extra time. Brazil and Italy went to a penalty shootout for the title. Italy missed 3. The last one was Roberto Baggio's, which went over the bar. Brazil won their 4th World Cup without scoring in the final. Romario and Bebeto, the 2 best players of the tournament, celebrated without having scored that day. 1998 in Paris. Ronaldo reached the final with an unclear medical condition. Seizures just hours before the match. France, meanwhile, had Zidane on fire. 2 headers from Zidane in the first half sank Brazil. Petit sealed the 3-0 in the second half, and France became world champions for the first time, at home, in front of their fans. 2002 in Yokohama, Japan. Ronaldo returned from injury to become the hero of Korea-Japan. In the final, a mistake by German goalkeeper Kahn gave him his first goal. With 10 minutes left, Ronaldo scored the second with a precise finish. Brazil became 5-time champions. Ronaldo was the top scorer of the tournament with 8 goals, the redemption of a player who, 4 years earlier, reached a final in inexplicable conditions. 2006 in Berlin, Zidane reached his last final and started it by scoring a penalty with a Panenka. Materazzi tied the game with a header. The match had no more goals, but it did have the most surreal moment in the history of finals. In extra time, Zidane headbutted Materazzi in the chest and was sent off. Trezeguet hit the crossbar in the shootout, and Grosso scored the winner. 4th star. 2010 in Johannesburg. Spain and the Netherlands in the final. The 2 best teams of the tournament, and a very tough final. The Netherlands played right on the edge of the rules and crossed the line several times. De Jong kicked Xavi Alonso in the chest. Casillas saved Spain with a crucial stop against Robben in the 60th minute. No goals after 90 minutes extra time. In the 116th minute, Iniesta scores the most celebrated goal. Spain, world champion for the first and only time in its history. 2014 Germany won, Argentina 0 in Rio de Janeiro. The 3rd final between these 2 teams. A balanced, tense match, without many clear chances. Higuain missed a sitter in the first half. In extra time, in the 113th minute, Mario Götze controlled with his chest and scored with his left foot, 1-0. The goal that gave Germany its 4th star. The first European country to win the championship 4 times. And the same tournament where Germany scored 7-1 against Brazil. 2018 France 4. Croatia 2 in Moscow. Croatia reached its first final in history and started with the worst possible beginning. Mandzukic scored an own goal in the 18th minute, the first own goal in the history of a World Cup final. Perisic equalized before halftime, but VAR called a penalty for his handball. Griezmann scored from the spot. 2-1 at halftime. In the second half, Pogba and Mbappé sealed the game. Mandzukic pulled one back, but it wasn't enough. France, 2-time champions. And Mbappé, at just 19 years old, scored in a World Cup final. 2022 Argentina vs. France, Lusail, Qatar. The best final in the history of football, and that's no exaggeration. Messi scored from the penalty spot. Di Maria made it, 2-0. France was nowhere to be seen. And then Mbappé made history. 2 goals in 97 seconds penalty, volley. He made it 2-2 and forced extra time. Messi scored to make it 3-2. And Mbappé equalized again with another penalty, hat trick. In the penalty shootout, Dibu Martinez saved Koeman's shot. And Montiel scored the decisive one. Argentina, 3-time champions. The next World Cup is in 2026, and history will continue. If you enjoyed this video, check out the one I'm showing here. I know you'll like it.